today's date because our actual meeting falls on a holiday. Um, I believe that we had someone from sanitation scheduled to be here tonight. Are they here?
I'm here.
Hi, how you doing? Who is this?
Teresa? Teresa Cunningham from Sanitation.
Oh, thank you. How you been, Miss Cunningham? Haven't spoken to you in quite some time.
Yes.
Um, what happened with that? What was the How come it's been so long since you've been in this position?
I was transferred to a different unit temporarily, and so I'm just now coming back.
Okay, okay. Um, have you been in contact with Mr. Stephen Caruso?
Yes, we're in the same bureau. We're in the same office.
Okay. The last time that he attended one of our meetings, which was a few months ago,
Hmm.
he spoke to him about many issues, and he took a lot of information down, and he assured us that he would be looking into these issues, and we were hoping to get some feedback on what was the result of his efforts. And are you able to provide any of that information?
Unfortunately, no, he did not tell me that there was anything for follow-up.
Hmm.
So if that is the case, I definitely would be happy to look into, whatever that is still outstanding. But he didn't communicate to me that there was anything that needed follow-up for you guys.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a general question then.
Sure.
Is it your understanding or impression that um, sanitation is operating in a satisfactory manner as far as the community goes? Are you aware of any concerns that exist, or are you under the belief that everything is moving properly and adequately?
Um, I mean, that's hard to say. I know people have, different opinions, and there are, varying issues depending on the season. I believe that council member Lewis's office reached out, and there may have been some concerns expressed about illegal dumping, and things like that, but I didn't receive any specific locations. So that's where, I was under the impression that that would be shared today. But if there have been some, long-standing concerns that you want to, brief me on, then I'll be happy to, take that information. I mean, obviously, I'm familiar with the district in general, but because I haven't been in this, particular role in over a year, then, playing catch up is what's kind of happening at the moment.
I see. Here's what is a problematic issue uh, with what you just described.
Mm-hmm.
It's been said to Mr. Caruso when he was on that what
Uh-huh.
tends to happen with sanitation, um, people that work there, that there is a regular rotation of different positions that seems to happen very quite frequently,
Mm-hmm.
within this organization. And what ends up happening is, for example, I mean, this is a perfect example. What's recently happened between Mr. Caruso and you
Mm-hmm.
being here today, that, information was relayed to an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Individual says that they're going to look into it, they're going to address it. Don't worry, I'm going to take care of everything. We've got it. And then when it's time to address whether or not there have been any results or any things accomplished based on that interaction, suddenly there's a change of personnel, and then you're basically starting from scratch as we currently are today.
Well, I don't
And
know
it
that we
is,
are necessarily starting from scratch because just because I don't have the information that he may or may not have followed up on, it doesn't mean that nothing happened. He could have very well followed up on your concerns. I just don't have that information readily available because he did not, necessarily express to me that there were issues. But I'm happy to discuss that with him tomorrow and see if there's any other follow-up. But in general, this is a uniform agency, so unfortunately for uniform individuals, we are kind of at the mercy of our agency and can be sent to different places as needed. However, with that said, this is the first time that I personally have ever not been in this role for a considerable amount of time. And although I'm not as familiar with you, there are people on the call, such as Miss Lyons, Miss Martinez, Mr. Tate, who know me well, and I can only speak for myself in terms of follow up. If a situation is expressed to me, and an issue is raised with me, I definitely do my best to try and make sure that I follow up, and I, have been around for quite a while. So, I can't speak to other people, but I definitely try my best to help.
while I appreciate everything that you said, and I don't take away anything from it, it is definitely conflicting with what the members that, especially the ones in particular that you just mentioned, that based on the opinions that I've heard from them over the time that I've been in this position, is going on 2 years now. The consensus appears to be that there are outstanding and longstanding issues with sanitation and their function within the community. There have been things that have been discussed over and over and over and over again, and they have always remained an issue. I don't know. I mean, you kind of just put yourself out there to say that you have been involved for a very long time. So it can only stand to reason that if there is anyone that is going to have to take responsibility for that, it would have to be you, I suppose. But I have not been hearing that things have been working well. There have, if an issue comes up, we speak to so and so and it gets resolved. This is not the information that I have been receiving since I've been involved in this situation on this committee. So I don't know what the disconnect is. I mean, we have the members here tonight. I'm sure they are waiting eagerly to sit there and speak for themselves, but this is definitely conflicting. So I don't want to say either one side is lying versus another, but there's definitely some sort of misunderstanding here as to what is real, because they both can't be true at the same time. They just can't be. And I have been hearing for the longest time that illegal dumping has been a long-standing issue that remains to be an issue. The water being in the street cleaning machines going through the community, certain areas. I don't know if certain areas are prioritized first and then other areas are taken care of last. But by the time that street sweeper gets to whichever areas they are, they don't have any water left in these machines. And apparently, there isn't even a water gauge in these machines to let them know that they don't have any water left. So I would think that that is a real simple issue to address if sanitation was really trying to address this issue.
Putting a water gauge on our street sweepers is not something that is an easy fix by any means. However, illegal dumping is something that is a problem citywide, and that is not something that it can be addressed and is addressed through cleaning and, but as quickly as we can take care of something is as quickly as someone can come back to dump again. So that's something that can be an ongoing issue that does not take away from the efforts of sanitation. You can have chronic locations where dumping is frequently occurring, and that's from people that can be within the community, that can, come to the community, or are visiting workers, construction, whoever. But that is something that, results are relative, because you can address it, and as quickly as you address it, it can happen again and again and again. And yes, with illegal dumping specifically, that's something that has to be observed. And dumping also is categorized, if it's specifically coming from a vehicle. If it's not coming from a vehicle, then that's, a different category. So, I mean, there are nuances. That's not to say that, if things are not, that have not been satisfactory, again, I'm happy to follow up on it. I can't speak to anything that I was not personally involved with, but I definitely stand by what I said previously in terms of the things that have been brought to my attention. I most certainly have followed up.
Okay, Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Yes, I have my hands up, and so was Ms. Martinez. But I do believe you are on the phone, so you can't see our hands. Am I correct?
I 1 moment. Let me just take a look at something real quick.
That's why I interrupted, because I don't think you could see our hands.
I can see that. Here's that all the hands are currently down. Is that what you're seeing?
No, my hands are up, and so was Ms. Martinez's hand.
I can let
Yeah,
Miss Martinez's hand does not appear to be up. Miss Martinez, is your hand up right now?
No, she just took it down, I guess. But can I speak now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to respond to what I can see the hands. I just was in the midst of um, having this discourse, but just give me 1 moment, and then
Okay.
I'll let you jump in there. I just want to say this one thing about the illegal dumping and how it's a chronic issue. I just have to say that, in my opinion, the fact that this is something that is a repeated issue, an ongoing issue in certain areas, it would stand to reason that would make it more susceptible to addressing the issue, because whenever it's cleaned up, these people are coming back. And if they're coming back rapidly, then having someone or something available there to catch these people that are going back to the same places over and over again makes the most sense. It's just like someone that goes into a bank and robs it once. You may never catch that person. But if that person's coming back to that bank, 5 times a month, I'm presuming that makes it a lot easier to catch this person. So if these people are making themselves available to commit the same action over and over again, and somehow, they're not able to be addressed, that really doesn't make sense to me. You can go ahead, sir. Mr. Tate? Okay, is there anyone currently that would like to speak at this point? Just raise your. All right, Ms. Martinez, go ahead.
I think Mr. Tate was before me.
Yeah, but I'm asking him if he's available to speak, and he's not speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have muted myself by mistake.
Oh, I see. Okay, go ahead, Mr.
Yeah,
Tate.
yes. Let me start over. Yes, just wanted to say that Ms. Cunningham mentioned my name and mentioned Ms. Martinez's name also. And I have to say that Ms. Cunningham hasn't been in this position for a little while, but I can attest to in the past being a former me being a former chair of sanitation maybe about 5 years ago. I have to attest that Ms. Cunningham did help whenever we have a complaint. She would look up and come back with a response. I don't know if we can blame her for whatever Ms. Caruso or anyone have been doing over the last couple of years when she hasn't been around. But that said, I just want to make sure that we don't beat her up too much are coming back right now based on what's happening that we are. Yes, there is a responsibility within the sanitation department, but we need her to work with us now, but we cannot blame her for whatever the other guys haven't been doing. That said, yes, the illegal dumping is something that is very difficult because yes, they come back. Unfortunately, the law, according to the city council, is that sanitation have to catch them in the act. We need to work with, aside from working with sanitation, we need to work with the elected official to get rid of that stupid law that even if you have video, you catch them on videos, they can't do anything. Okay, that said, basically that was it. Because since you brought up that you were complaining, I just wanted to make sure that whatever complaint I had was not a complaint about Miss Cunningham, because Miss Cunningham wasn't around. But I can attest that she helped a lot while I was maybe, I think, 5 or 6 years ago when I was the sanitation chair before I later went to public safety. Okay. So
Thank
we
you
need
for
to
that.
work with her and give her opportunity to research whatever Mr. Caruso didn't do and see if she could promise to come back with a response. That's my opinion.
Thank you for that, Mr. Tate, and I appreciate everything that you said. With that said, I have to say that that doesn't change anything in my, as far as I'm concerned, based on what I just said. And the reason for that is whatever happened 5 or 6 years ago, that's great. I'm not saying that nothing was ever done. I'm not saying that she has never helped. I'm not saying anything like that. And I'm not even saying she's at fault for anything. What I'm saying is that since I've been here, which it has been, it's going on 2 years from the moment I have been in this position. I have been listening to the members here complain about the same things over and over and over again. Now, if Mr. Caruso has been in this position for a year, then that would mean someone else was in there for the year prior. If that was Miss Cunningham or if that was someone else, the person is really not what's important to me. What's important to me is that there have been a list of issues and a list of complaints since I've been here, and I've been hearing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, regardless to how difficult something may be, that is irrelevant. What is relevant is that if sanitation is understanding that there is a complicated situation that needs to be addressed, then what they need to do is coordinate with other agencies, whichever agencies is necessary in order to rectify the situation. Like, for example, we need some police officers to regularly pass by and monitor our area or something to that effect. Maybe a sanitation supervisor, something like that, can make rounds to certain areas, certain hot areas that have these types of issues. You know, it's not as complicated as it might seem. It really isn't. So that's my position on that. But it's not to take away from anything that she may have done or sanitation may have done 5 or 6 years ago. I'm talking about what I have experienced since I've been here for 2 years. That all happened. These complaints were there, and they
Yes,
still are there.
yeah, but you said that both sides were not be speaking the truth, and that was, and to me that wasn't, because you're saying either the complaints are not true or what. At least the way I interpreted that was that either the complaint weren't true or what Ms. Cunningham was saying wasn't true. So that's why I want to clarify that it's not, whatever complaint we've been given over the last 2 years, if she wasn't around, that complaint and the misinformation that we or non-information that we were getting is lie upon another individual. Okay, but it's not that we were lying or she were lying. Basically, I just want to make sure that to me that was a little, and I'm
Well,
sorry to say it since you're the chair, But respectfully, I have to say that was a little bit too
Yes,
strong
sir. No, that's it. Okay.
when it comes to one,
Monday. Okay.
one and
Thank you.
the other was lying. Okay, so just wanted to clarify that because we don't want to put her in an
Monday is
uncomfortable position, and then she doesn't
Sorry,
work.
I'm sorry,
Monday.
Mr. Tate. Can
Monday.
everyone mute their mics if they're not speaking? Can
Yes.
everyone
Okay.
please mute their mics if they're not speaking? If you're not speaking,
All right. Sure.
we have a number,
Good.
a
Thank you.
917 number ending in ending in 66. Thank you, thank you. So Mr. Tate, let me clarify what I meant by what I said, just so you understand. What I was saying was, it can't be true that all complaints and issues have been addressed, while complaints are being expressed by the members that they are not being taken care of. Both cannot be true at the same time, right? So, what is definitely factually true that I can speak of is, since I've been in this position for the last 2 years, I have heard of the same types of complaints over and over and over again. So, if those complaints are true, if they truly exist, which I believe that they do,
Mhm.
then it's not possible that sanitation's position is that all complaints have been addressed and taken care of. Do you understand? If the complaints are there, then it can't be true that they're fixed. That's just a matter of fact. That's not about beating up on anybody. That's not about being mean. That's not about saying someone's a liar. It just factually cannot exist at the same time. That's just what it is. That's all that I'm saying. If you have anything that you'd like to respond to regarding that, Mr. Tate, please feel free. If
No,
not, Ms.
no,
Martin.
yeah,
Mhm.
no, because I don't want to hog the meeting, but I understand where you're coming from. Definitely understand where you're coming from. But if something that was working before and then it deteriorated again, that's a start. But what I'm saying is that let's give Ms. Cunningham. She said she was going to speak to Mr. Cunningham and find out what. What he was supposed to come back to us with, which obviously he didn't. So let's give her the opportunity to check that. And if she doesn't come back with that information or to with a response to us, then yes, I too will get a dark case, but it's not, this is the first time she's with us in a long time. So let's not what was discourage her in saying, "Oh my God, what did I get into?" Type thing. But yeah, it is we have to work as a team. And if she doesn't do what she promised us to do, yes. But she did promise us that she was going to look into what's going on, because apparently she's not aware of what's going on over the last year. But that's it, and I'm going to let someone else speak because I don't want it to be a one-on-one. Okay?
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're just addressing a particular issue.
Yeah,
we've got time. We've got time. It's okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I
just
think Miss
Martinez is
Martinez
next,
was
and
next.
then Miss McCain Brown.
yeah, I see it. No problem. I just want to just say one more thing regarding that, is that what I'm saying is not to um sort of attack Miss Cunningham. That's not what it's about. Like, we just acknowledge she hasn't been here for the last year, right?
More
So
than that.
it's not more than that. So it's not an attack to her. What it is an expression of frustration and certain facts regarding sanitation. It's not Miss Cunningham. She just represents sanitation. And I think that she's been around long enough to know that this is not personal. This is not about her. This is not, sanitation isn't her organization. It's not her company. She's just someone that is here as a representative. So what I'm doing is I'm representing what I believe are some very significant, frustrating issues that have existed. And it's for her to relay that to the people she needs to talk to. But it's not personally to her. I'm sure, or I choose to believe, that she is going to be able to help and rectify issues. but she needs to understand where things have been, where we are, and how we feel about what's been happening. That's all that this is. Ms. Martinez?
Oh, yes, yeah, good evening. I'm happy to have you back, Teresa, because we did get to work on a lot of things in the past, and I do agree with George. I have a couple of things that is your number?
Ms. Martinez.
Nothing, you were mute. You're mute, Hazel.
I don't know how that's happening because I'm not touching anything. Um, is your good evening, Teresa. I'm happy to have you back. Because we did work on get a lot of things done in the. I don't know what's wrong. Will you have the same contact information?
Yes, everything is the same.
Okay, and okay, I have three things that I'd like to have you address. One is Church Avenue and Kings Highway. The median, there's a little some sort of fruit stand there on the median, so they would have to stand in Kings Highway um to cross the street. And it's, you know, the sidewalk is blocked with a tent and all of this, and then there's that. The other thing is, the street sweeping is not, in this community is not being done on a regular basis at all, and there's no enforcement, so no vehicles just don't even move.
Is
And
there
those,
locations you can give me for that,
yes,
for the street
I
sweeping?
can send you an email.
Yes, please. That's
Yeah,
always better.
okay, okay, all right, thank you.
No problem. Mr. Hill, if there are, I understand, I heard you loud and clear, very
Um,
frustrated. Things have not been happening. Oh, I'm sorry. There was
uh,
someone else. Go ahead.
yes. Good evening,
Ms.
Ms.
Brown?
Cunningham, Chairperson, Mr. Hill. What I was waiting to say for the longest while is I sense the frustration too, but let's get on. Thank Ms. Cunningham for here, and let's put forward some of the issues that we currently have so she can begin doing what she has to do. And I have one observation, which has to do with street cleaning also. And today, luckily, I was able to see, I think, a traffic officer giving tickets. Because when the street cleaning is finally done, if cars are still parked, we are unable to have at least my side of the street especially cleaned. Also, the other question is sanitation also giving tickets now? And if there is a permit in someone's car, because like today, the person was giving the tickets out, said, well, there was a permit in that car, so she couldn't give a ticket. Is that acceptable? Are there certain agencies that are allowed a pass, even if they're not working and they leave those permits in their car? Those are the questions that I have, Ms. Cunningham.
Generally speaking, if there is a permit present and um, it's not expired, then yes, then they may get a pass, but it's a case by case basis. Basically, the issuing officer would need to use discretion. If you're by a school and there's a permit, obviously it's more than likely the teachers are working and you would not necessarily issue them a ticket. However, if it's a, completely residential block, I mean, we can't just arbitrarily say that they are not on duty if it's, undercover or something. I don't know. I can't speak to the specifics, but in a general
Not
case,
on
if there
duty, at
is a
home.
non-expired, okay, well, that's something that, we can take a look at. Is there a particular street? What street? It doesn't have to be an exact address, but perhaps a street with between streets. That would be helpful for follow-up.
Brooklyn Avenue between Clarendon and D.
Okay. Okay, I can follow up with that.
Thank you, because it keeps the street dirty when the sweeper, as you know, is unable to go any further. And so the trash
Mm-hmm.
stays right in front of a particular area because obviously the sweeper, when it does come, just cannot go any further because of the parked cars.
Right. Got it.
I I wanted to just speak for Miss Bennett, and she just put some things in the chat. I just wanted to just express them. She suggested scheduled checks and cleaning by NYDS. Other community boards have checks. The issue of dumping has gone on for over 10 years. And
Can you elaborate what you
that's
mean by checks? What do you mean by checks?
I think without having Ms. Bennett speak for herself, I can only presume that she's maybe referring to a rotation for these dumping areas for them to be checked on a regular
So
basis.
So that is
Correct.
something that does happen. I know that in conversation, so one of the things that you guys do receive is uh, cleanup funds from the council member. And I'm not sure if she collaborated with the community board or not. I would assume that she did, but even in the event, there are some major, corridors that are checked on a weekly basis while there is, this additional funding, which the funding is so that there is additional service. But as of right now, because of the winter season, that is on pause. So the cleaning is not taking place. But for several months throughout the year, there's surplus cleaning for the Avenue D corridor between Albany and Utica, Farragut Road between Albany and Kings Highway, Nostrand Avenue between Clarendon Road and Farragut, Utica Avenue between Church and Farragut, the area surrounding the Holy Cross Cemetery, and a couple of other places. But those are, just an example. There are definitely others, but those are just an example of places that are frequently checked for illegal dumping and stuff like that. So some of those things are taking place.
I just want you to know that, we have our meetings every month, and every month, regardless to the season, we still are discussing the fact that the illegal dumping is a big problem. So,
But did he have juice?
I'm sorry?
I can imagine that it may be. And like I said, I'm happy to take down some locations if you would like to provide locations. But that we can only move, forward. Like I hear you. I totally hear you. I
Wait a
understand
minute,
that
no,
you
go
have been
away.
frustrated. But if
Wait
there
a
are
minute. I'm
locations,
making out.
I can attempt to investigate, based on the locations that you provide.
Okay, well, if you could put your, would you put your email in the chat there so the members here would be able to provide those locations for you?
It actually would be better if there's a centralized method so that I'm not getting a ton of emails. So like if you can gather that and send it, then that would be a lot more helpful. Or
We
even
could,
if the community board, if they, send it, cohesively, like here's a list of locations that we've noticed are a problem, that would be a lot more efficient. For one-off things, I can definitely provide our customer service unit where these are not like maybe not chronic, but these are locations where, something is happening just like on an incident basis. Our team in the customer service unit, they can definitely help with those. But for larger, more, issues that are chronic, it would definitely be helpful if it's kind of more in an organized fashion that I can, follow up with the district superintendent directly.
Everyone can send the information to me in the morning. Send it to me, my email, and I'll send her uh, a synopsis of everything.
great. We have a few
Mr.
hands
Hill,
up.
next.
Yes.
It was Edith Mark, Vanessa Quashi, Antoinette Smart, then Miss Bennett.
Okay, Ms. Mark, please feel
Yes,
free to speak.
thank you.
Hi.
And I, hello, Miss Cunningham. Thank you for attending this meeting. I have some complaints on Utica between Snyder and I guess going towards Linden Boulevard. There are a couple of businesses that neglect to clean their sidewalks, especially on Mondays, by the B46 bus stop. which is going towards Eastern Parkway on Utica and Snyder, the B46. There's a business. It's a I think it's a no, it's I don't think it's a appliance store. It's appliance and television and stuff. So I don't know what they do, but they seem to unload their boxes and just leave them. So on Mondays, if you're coming to work or waiting for the bus, the boxes are just laying there. It looks horrendous. It looks a mess. I don't know if you have ticketing officers, ticketing the businesses, um, or what, but it's really an eyesore. It really is. And honestly, from Snyder to Linden Boulevard, that strip, I know it's heavy trafficking, but these businesses needs to be held accounted. I mean, I'm a homeowner and we get tickets if our sidewalks are not clean. So the question is, are they being held accountable? And they leave their businesses and go to their homes that they're not in the community. They don't live in the community. So I know they're leaving their businesses, sidewalks looking a mess, going to their homes, and I'm sure their sidewalks are clean. But I don't know, is there some way, someone can follow up on that? Because honestly,
Absolutely. Yes. So are you
no,
talking about like across from the Chase Bank? That area?
no, it's the Chase Bank side. Like
It
go
is the Chase
like
Bank. Okay.
yes. Like
Okay.
there's a appliance store, and on Mondays, I don't know what they do, but they unload the boxes. I have video footage too. I will send that to Miss Lyons so she can forward that to you. I have video footage, but that
Okay.
strip is a mess. It's a
Yeah,
mess.
absolutely. Especially like pictures. I mean, video is a little bit harder to share, but definitely pictures and stuff like that. Businesses are absolutely supposed to be maintaining in front of their properties and stuff like that. They definitely have the same obligations as homeowners do. So that's absolutely something I can be happy to pass along and try to see if we can get some extra monitoring on that stretch.
On that stretch, yes. And it just needs to be that stretch because once you pass Linden Boulevard, it's fine. It's from Snyder to Linden Boulevard, and it's really on that side of the street going towards Eastern Parkway on the right, well, on the Chase side. I know, like I said, I understand this heavy traffic and everything, but come on, those businesses should be held accountable, because they don't live in a community. They go to their home, nice homes or whatever, not having to worry about. But us people who live in a community, it's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. It really is. And not only that, but around the corner, like from East 51st going to Snyder, around the corner onto Utica. It's where the Chinese restaurant is, that the one that has the famous chicken
Yes,
wing.
I'm I'm familiar. Yes.
Yes, that corner. Oh my gosh, you would think somebody just came and just dumped garbage there. And I don't and even the street cleaning, it's a mess there too. It's a mess. And honestly, I don't know. I just think we can do better. We can do better as a community. And like I said, those businesses, they really need to be held accountable. Like I said, they don't live in a community. They make their money from us, but why can't they keep their area clean? That's it. Thank you for listening.
No worries.
Next, we had, was it Miss Smart or Miss Quashi that was next?
Miss
Yes,
Quash.
Quashie.
Hi, Miss
Welcome
Quashi.
back, Miss Cunningham.
Thank you.
I am so glad you're back. What happened to Anthony?
He got sent to another unit as well.
Oh, geez. That's the best one you had. I miss him. Well, let me tell you what I want to speak to you about. First observation, the supervisors who drive around, and I emphasize the word drive around. They do not get out their vehicles, so they can't see anything. So when they can't see anything, they can't write up anything. So they close out the tickets, saying that they didn't see anything. And that is an injustice. For instance, Family Dollar over there on Farragut Road, they stink, they're dirty, and when they do give them a summons, they said they're giving them an education. Education on what? That is a joke. Okay? They're filthy. You can't even walk on the back end of Pathmark to take a walk over there because it's so nasty and stinky over there. I'm tired
So
of
that may
riding
be a little bit of an issue, that particular one, only because then isn't that abutting like Pathmark's parking lot? It's not the
No,
street.
no, it's on that little strip. It's that little, it's not Pathmark yet. It's that little corner strip right there between Family Dollar. It's like a little walkway path. It's not quite
Right, but
Pathmark
I
yet.
don't but it's not the street though. I don't
No,
think
it's
that's
not the
like a
street.
I don't
The
think
curb.
that's
That's
okay.
where they dump
All right,
it.
I
That's
I can
Family
have
Dollar.
someone check.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
And
by the gas station, across the street from the gas
Oh, the
station.
gas station side? Okay,
yes,
okay,
No, on
okay.
the
yes,
opposite. Yeah,
yes.
that I know exactly what she's talking about. In the school, there's a school across the street.
Street.
There's a public
Yes.
school across the street. Yeah, that's
Yes, I'm
the
familiar. It's where the community board office, right? The
right.
same
Yep.
Yes,
On that side.
area.
Yep.
it's true. She's
Mm-hmm.
right.
And it
It's
stinks
true.
over there.
And they
And I used
do a lot of dumping. They do a lot of dumping over there. Every time you turn around, they dump there. It's so true. It's true.
and I'm tired of writing 311 tickets. I need another job that I'm getting paid for. That's number one. Number two, I need to emphasize again, the supervisors need to get out their cars. I wrote a 311 ticket because someone was illegally dumping on my property, my next door neighbor. I gave them video footage. I gave them pictures. And the wonderful, lovely officer said, I didn't see anything. I told him the dumping was done on Farragut and Troy. Gave them pictures. He went to the front of Troy Avenue because he didn't see anything. How dumb can you be? And I told him the dumping was done between 6 p.m. and 7:30. He shows up at 9 o'clock to do surveillance. What are you going to see at 9 p.m.? It's already done. And he didn't see any evidence of the dumping. The dumping was on Farragut Road. So of course it's not on Troy Avenue. It's on Farragut Road. So the officers need to get out the vehicle. That's my
Okay, that's
segment.
something I can express to the superintendent.
Yes. And then also when they want to get petty, the supervisors get petty in the daytime. They're very petty because I was writing up the sanitation sweepers because they were coming late on Farragut Road. Sometimes they don't come at all. Sometimes they're very late. They come after 10 a.m. They're supposed to come between 8:30 and 10. Sometimes they come at 10:05. Sometimes they come at 10:15. Sometimes they don't come at all. But then I'll write a 311 ticket, put it in, just like you trained me to put in the 311 ticket, and show where the vehicle comes down the block with the little sign that says BK17, showing them coming late. But the Fazios from across the street have already moved the cars back. And your supervisor, with the initials AA, I'll be nice, will get mad and give me a ticket for a chewing gum wrapper and a popsicle stick in the street because it was 18 inches on a rainy day. But my sidewalk is clean, but he'll say that I had a chewing gum wrapper and an invisible popsicle stick. So I had to write the commissioner to say that I'm being retaliated. So You know what I said I'm going to do? I'm not going to write any more 311 tickets because I have no more time to be writing the commissioner on this nonsense. But your sanitation trucks come with no water, like our Mr. Hill said. They come late or they don't come at all. And that's why I had wrote you before you left to go to that lovely position somewhere else to say that someone needs to do an investigation on how late does the trucks come in our community or not at all. And that still hasn't happened. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kwashi. Next, Ms. Smart.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hill. Good evening.
Evening.
I'm going to be very brief because most of this is extremely redundant. So what I can say and what I'm tuning in here to see tonight is I'm in total agreement with just about everything everyone has said. The issue on our block is, and no, I'm not in a commercial area. It's a very small street. Miss Cunningham, it's a pleasure. I don't know you, but I'm happy that you're here. There has been no street sweeping on my block on one side. They usually come on the Monday and Wednesday side. They do not come on the Tuesday and Friday side. And that has not happened in over 5 or 6 months. There's been absolutely no sweeping at all. Like the previous speaker mentioned, Ms. Kwashi, I have made multiple complaints to sanitation and to the supervisors. The supervisors, I cannot say they do not get out the car. What I can say is they do not come at all. They just do not show up on our block. They do not.
Can you
They
give
do
me
not.
the block, please? Can
I'll
you give
give
me
you the
the
block
block,
right
please?
now. My block is East 34th between Farragut Road and Brooklyn Road. My house is right on the corner. There's usually cars parked. We have begged them to please come and ticket the cars. Please ticket the cars. They do not ticket the cars. Cars are not ticketed. Now the people, the folks in the community have gotten slick. They recycle orange envelopes with the tickets on the windshield. Even the 67th precinct, we cannot get them to come around even. And when they drive through, the precinct officers, they never get out the cars. They see that orange sticker, that orange envelope, and they assume that there's a valid ticket. If you take a look at the ticket, it's probably from 6 or 7 or 8 months ago. So
Okay, what was
they're
the side you said that doesn't normally get done?
Tu-
Though you said the right or
Tuesday,
left.
Tuesdays and
Tuesday.
Fridays. Tuesdays and
So
Fridays.
Tuesdays and Fridays are the ones that are not happening.
It's not happening at all. And there's
Okay.
no sanitation supervisor to enforce parking because now everyone knows they don't come, so no one moves their cars. No one moves their cars ever.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll appreciate, I saw your information in the chat. I did take it down. I don't know if it's your direct
Yeah, no worries.
information, but I will definitely be
Yeah,
sending out
it's literally they work right across from me. Yes. It's not in an abyss. It's not 311, but yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be following up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, as a note, the sweepers do have GPS. That was something in the chat.
Okay, good to know. They never come. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Ms. Bennett, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. What I want to
Thanks.
say that I've been putting in the chat is accurate. For the traffic enforcement that does the street cleaning, for the SPI, it's for people with parking disabilities. That cannot be written during street cleaning, no parking. They're allowed to be there by law. Any other cannot be there. Even if a lot of them don't know that some of them are fake and they have to be checked accurately. From what I've known and what I do know, a lot of the enforcement for NYPD, not for sanitation, are afraid to come into this community. I've spoken to a few of them. And that's a shame. But as for the schedule checks, yes, other communities, I've been to other community boards, I've been to other communities, and I've seen it go on. And I do understand it has to be scheduled. That makes absolute sense. But is there something anyway that we can coordinate for sanitation, enforcement, DSNY, for the cleaning, and the NYPD traffic enforcement to get together and get this done? To me, it's a matter of coordination. What I'm hearing is a lack of coordination and a lot of frustration. But Mr. Hill,
If
you get a chance,
if
I would love to talk.
I'm sorry, Miss Smart. I'm sorry, Miss Bennett. What did you say?
I said when you get a chance, I would love to sit down and talk.
Oh, sure. No problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in terms of coordination, that's definitely something that, the community board can do if there's interagency things. It's, a meeting or a site visit. And I have definitely been on site visits and stuff in the past with Miss Frazier
Mhm.
and other agency representatives. So it is something that can happen. And so I think it just needs to be escalated to that point where we can get something coordinated. But it is an option, 100%.
So thank you very much.
All right. Doesn't look like we have any more hands raised. I just want to put some emphasis.
Yes, I have one more question.
Oh, okay. Please go. Go ahead.
During the Christmas and New Year's holiday, this community didn't get any sanitation pickup. And it happened that Christmas and New Year's was on a Wednesday.
Yes.
So we didn't get pickup on Thursday. Do you know why that was? Or could you find out why we didn't get pickup in this area?
I can ask. I'm not sure why there was no collection on Wednesday, obviously
Right,
for
because
both holidays, but I'm not sure about Thursday. Thursday is the normal collection day?
no, Wednesday would be the
Or
normal.
are you saying that,
They didn't pick up on
sorry?
Thursday. They didn't pick up on Thursday. Got picked up on Saturday.
So well, I'm asking, what are the normal collection days?
Wednesday
If
and
forget about the holiday, like
Wednesday and
Wednesday and
Saturday.
Saturday?
Hmm.
Okay, so you're saying for that week they only collected on Saturday.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Tate, did they pick up on your neighborhood, on your block?
Same thing. That's why I had my hands off. I was one of my
Okay.
questions. Yeah, but apparently by me, I was happens. Whenever there is a holiday, they don't
Hmm.
come. They don't come until
Exactly.
until the
Yeah,
Saturday.
we're not served like other
Yeah.
neighborhoods.
But I do have another question regarding for her.
Okay, that was my only question for you, Teresa. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Tate.
Mr. I could go. Okay. Yes, Miss Cunningham. My other question is regarding the new law with the recycle bins and the garbage being left within garbage bags instead of bins. When are they going to start summoning people for not putting them in any kind of bin? Because in my garbage is put in the community drive, and I notice most people are still putting the black garbage bags. And here we come again. Last night, I went to CBS and was coming through the community drive, and I was greeted by a bunch of rats eating out of a bag, out of a black garbage bag right in front of 1444, the garage belonging to 1444. Troy Avenue, and when they saw me, they just scattered and went. I guess they must have a hole over there. So I was just wondering when they're going to start forcing people to put their garbage into some kind of bins. Because yes, I
It's
understand.
already started. So there was a warning period in
the-
December, and then I believe as of January 2nd, it was they are able to issue summonses. The only thing I took the address down, you said 1444 Troy Avenue, right?
Yes, it's
I
correct.
will definitely follow up. However, I'm not sure what the legality is in terms of the community driveway because it's not on a sidewalk. I know we do collect from there, but I am not sure how that works in terms of summonsing. So
Yeah,
I will follow up on that.
yeah.
But
Okay.
in generally speaking, the summonses are already taking place.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to specify that the people come and dump a lot back there. So I'm not saying that this necessarily coming from the house. It's possible, but I know some they went on and then they have a car parked right there. They all went on the car and into the garage. So that's it. They could still, and then my follow up on that is, even though people are saying they're still waiting for the delivery of their bins, they could still put it in the other bins as long as they close up, right?
Correct. They have until 2026 to still
Right,
put them in any other type of bin that is available. They can continue using their regular bins. The bins are not supposed to be basically become mandatory to have the New York City bin
right.
until 2026. Yeah.
Okay, but if they have the round, those regular round bins that they had before, as long as they have a cover on
As long
top,
as it
it's
has a lid. Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Any bin that's 55 gallons or less that has a lid.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
because
okay.
I had to
Yes.
explain to that to a couple of people in church on Saturday that they could put it in that because they were saying that they cannot find it at Home Depot, and they're saying there's a backlog in the when they I gave the information to do it online. They called me back and said there's a backlog. So I told them I'm pretty sure they could still put it in the regular bins as long as I have a cover. And I said if the cover is not doesn't stay on, just tie the cover to the bin. That's what I told them. So okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to verify that before I repeat it to them. Thank
Mr.
you.
Mr. Tate,
Yes.
You're welcome.
Mr. Tate, 1444 does have bins. I don't know if they're using them or not, but they did get them the week before I got mine.
Yeah, but as I said, like people come and they dump at the corner right over
Hmm.
there. So that's
Right,
why I'm specifying that it's not necessarily, I can't say that it's necessarily their garbage, because I
right,
know I've been cursed out a lot back there from people coming from Troy or East 43rd and dumping at the corner, which is a big issue right here.
right.
But
But the
yeah, but
dumping there is in the community driveway,
that's
correct?
correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Right. So that's an issue as well. And I know that that's something that Ms. Kwashi has had to deal with that we, dealt with
Yes,
extensively.
Yeah.
The community driveway is an issue.
yes,
Right.
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, if people don't put their bins, and I understand that people are afraid that they're gonna steal their bins. But hey, like I'd rather they steal my bins than I have a bunch of rats in my garage.
Mr. Hill, this
Yeah.
Deega Johnson is next.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello,
Who's first?
Johnson.
Yeah, me or Mr. Hill?
No, Miss Johnson. You can go, Miss Johnson.
Okay. So my name is Disa Johnson. And so the comment I have to make is about the garbage cans. I don't think it's going to matter about the rats, number one. Number two, I ordered my garbage can since November. I haven't got it. Two, I was one of the blocks where they gave so-called summons or warning, which didn't make any sense. Two, when the garbage man come and do the garbage, all they do is take your garbage cans and flip it open, throw it on the ground, don't put it back where it goes. Do you think that's fair? I don't care about the thing that worries me the most is that where I live at is on Beverly, where we are having a nightmare with the new building Sears, and the numerous construction workers that walk down the block and throw the garbage. So they throw the garbage anywhere. So the garbage mans, they take our garbage. The bins is on there. I see personally what they do. They take the lids and throw it on the ground. If it's windy, your lid is going away. And we don't have our garbage cans, yet they putting a warning. That doesn't make no kind of sense. And it's really frustrating and it's annoying because there's more garbage, yes, but at the same time, where's our bins?
So the bins are handled by Otto, which is a private vendor. I just put some information in the chat. In terms of the warning, they're like legally obligated to give you a warning prior to,
I already followed
just
up.
issuing a summons, which, sorry?
I followed up about that because that didn't make no sense. It wasn't January 2nd, so there was no need to put that. Not everybody got it, and that didn't make no sense to do that. Do it to everybody and do it to the
Well,
illegal dumping where people are putting out garbage before the garbage day and it sits out there for 2 days. If they want to give tickets, give it to them, to those people that does that.
well, the warning
Sorry.
shouldn't have been a ticket. It, was not any money or anything involved, but basically just to remind people that this is the new law that's coming. But if they're, like I said, if there is any additional follow-up, there is a number that I placed in the chat. But for anyone that does not have access to the chat, it's 855-692-2647. Again, 855-692-2647. And that's the
What is
number
that
for Otto's
for?
customer service.
Well, first of
That's
all,
for
they send an
Otto.
email saying they send an email talking about how they're going something with the bins, but I still haven't got my bins, and that doesn't make sense. If they're gonna be giving tickets, we should have got our garbage cans already. Sorry, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, I understand.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to interject. I saw on News 12 um that they said that if you're on the backlog list, that
Yeah.
you should not be getting a ticket. And that's a list that sanitation should have saying that you're on backlog and you should not be getting a ticket. And that was on News 12 just the other day. So does sanitation have that list of all the homes and because Community Board 17 was highlighted because people were getting tickets in Community Board 17. That was the article that was highlighted last week.
Exactly.
So, you know
I'm
anything
not
about that?
familiar with this list. I don't, but I can, I can
I can,
ask. I'm not familiar with there being a list.
yes, I can send you the article
Mm.
that
I
News
mean, I
12
believe
put out.
you. I'm just saying I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's what they're saying, that there's a list that sanitation has of all the homeowners that are waiting for bins, and they should not be getting tickets.
I
Well,
just wanted,
Hmm?
sorry, about the bins,
I'm sorry, I just
about the
want to
bins.
jump in and just remind everyone of the time. We have about 19 minutes left. So if we could just make sure that we do our best to keep our time as brief as possible so everyone can get in there and say what they want to say. Who's next? I see we have quite a few hands up.
Well, this is George. I just have a quick question regarding the exception to the tickets. Ms. Kwashi, from what you've heard, does that mean that even if they put the garbage out in garbage bags and don't have it in any container, they will not receive a ticket, or is only if they have it in they will not get a ticket if they have it in some kind of container. Follow me? Squashy?
What were you saying, Mr. Tate?
Yes, no, the article that you saw was
Uh-huh.
the exception for those on the waiting list. Was it
Uh-huh.
they were exempt from getting the tickets if they had the garbage in a any container, or would they be exempt if they have it just in a black plastic bag and not in a container?
Oh, I don't recall,
Okay.
but I'll send you the article also.
Yes, yeah, because my understanding was that no one should be getting tickets until what, 26, if they have it, as long as they have it in a container with a lid.
Okay, who is next with the hand raised?
This Hazel Martinez. Um, Frankly, I don't see why we already forced to spend money on buying a trash can. So why should you buy another trash can until you get that trash can? Because a lot of people never put their garbage out in, with bins before. And I think that is, and the other issue I have is that I think our community is enforced more than other communities. Because when I'm over there in Bay Ridge and those places and all down Bedford Avenue, there are boxes all over the street. They're not tied up. And yet in our community, we're given tickets for not tying up boxes that don't even belong to you.
Go right up on Nostrand Avenue, going towards Toyota and those guys. Going up on Nostrand Avenue, you can see all the garbage bags out there, and no one's getting ticketed.
Monica McCain Brown, the question I had for Ms. Cunningham was, the wind recently last week, our pails were in the street. Thank God they weren't crushed because the wind, was that taken into account? What would happen when it's very windy and the pails are empty? When the garbage is in, it's fine because it has enough, I guess, to cover it. But when the pails are empty, they have been bouncing on my street all over the street.
I mean, the directive, for sanitation employees is to place it back where it comes from. In terms of the wind, I mean, I I don't know. I can't speak to whether or not that was something that they took into consideration when they made the law, when they made the regulations. I am not sure.
Our cans are never replaced where they
I
took
don't
them
think
from.
they did.
They're laid in the street.
But that's something that you can make a complaint about, if they're not placing it back, because that is the directive that they are given, to place them back where they were taken from.
And that's fine. But the other piece again is I agree with you. I don't think they made any consideration for certain types of weather conditions. I don't think that was part of the plan. So what happens? And as I said last week, they were actually in the street. Thank God, no car ran over or whatever. They were actually in the street.
I believe the major concern was significantly decreasing the amount of time that, black bags are left on the curb, and just the overall eyesore, of having black bags, and obviously, a potential food source for rats and rodents and stuff like that. So, I think that overall, the expectation was that by containerizing, there would be, a general improvement, for cleanliness, in the city, because it's not just the homeowners, but prior to it being a regulation for homeowners, they did businesses. They started with the food businesses. They were containerized first. and then they moved to all businesses needing to containerize their garbage. So I think that that's where the focus was, is just minimizing the amount of time that bags would be on the street. And like I said, eyesores, reducing food waste, etc.
For that response.
Mr. Hill, Oliver has his hand up.
Yes, just about to get to that. Oliver?
Hello, good evening. I would like to inquire about the regulation for the larger residential commercial buildings. When is the deadline for that? And if
I know that they're working on regulations for them. It's going to be a little different than what is happening with the 1 to 9 units, so it has not been published yet.
Thank you.
Let's see, Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Say that your hand was raised. Did you have something to say?
No, I basically put it in there. I was saying about just what the other young lady said about the buildings, that that doesn't make sense why they would require homeowners to have to containerize versus the building that has more people in the building. Some of the things just doesn't make sense, and the fact that we're being forced to buy garbage cans that cost so much, it seems like everything that the city council or whomever comes up with, it costs the middle class people to pay for, and it's not fair. They're not giving out free bins to us. We're not in a city where they have the mechanical arms to pick up the garbage. I understand that is where those lids, those bins come in. We don't have that. We don't even have the space for the parking, much less to come down the block. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. On top of that, I personally see where sanitation with the garbage cans, where they just throw your garbage cans down. I literally have to be looking on my camera, waiting until they come to go get my garbage can and put it back. They don't close the lid. We're required to put the lids on, but why is it when they get the garbage cans, they can't put it back where they got it from, or at least close the lid instead of leaving it open? You're talking about people throwing garbage as they walk along, and not to mention the people with their pets that take the garbage with their dog stuff and throw it in there. It's just really ridiculous. My block is crazy. I'm on Beverly, so I'm getting it big time with all those whatever workers, wherever they get them from. That's going to the 850 units in our area, the Sears part.
Okay, Ms. Martinez, did you have something to say?
Yes, I have one last question. Since we're required to containerize our trash, for many years, there's been lots of discussion and meetings about Flatbush Gardens. What's going to happen with their trash disposal, or has that been changed?
That's a good question. I don't know what has happened since I've not been here with Flatbush Gardens, but yes, that definitely has been a long-standing situation. Before I left, we'd had several meetings with the business management, so I will be happy to circle back. I will check in with Councilmember Lewis's office, because that is the last group who I met with them, to see if there's been any progress or updates from them with regard to that.
Ms. Johnson, did you put your hand back up?
I'm sorry, I was just writing to say that the developers who's doing the Sears project, we call it the Sears project because they're building on the parking lot. are the persons who took over the Flatbush Gardens, Clipper Management.
Okay, thank you for that information. Mr. Tate, did you have something to add?
Mr. Hill, this is completely different because as and it's basically more for you or Miss Lyons because I just saw something, a letter from the Costello Carton Company at 1481 Troy Avenue, inviting the community to to a meeting on January 23rd regarding, I guess I don't know, regarding the operation and why they need to reapply for certain things. I haven't read. I just opened the letter because I remember seeing it that it came today. So I don't know if you all were invited. The Community Board 17 was invited to this meeting because De Costello, I don't know if you're aware, there's a carton company right on Troy Avenue between Fargo and Glenwood Road. So I don't know if anyone else received this letter, but if you didn't, I would like to at least make a copy and forward it to you, because this is something that we went through many, many years ago that they were trying to build, expand. As I said, I have not read the letter, but I just found it interesting that they sent it to my address, not to my name, to my address. So I don't know if anyone, Ms. Quashi or anyone else in the community received this letter, but I believe Community Board 17 should be aware of this.
Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah, you can definitely feel free to send that through the email. Just scan that and send it if you can. I just
Yeah.
want to focus any further comments to Miss Cunningham so she can go. Any other things we can
Yes,
discuss?
one more thing. Ms. Cunningham, has there been any discussion about changing the time when the garbage has to be put out instead of 6 p.m., going back to 4 p.m.? Because it's ridiculous that
No,
we got to wait till 6 o'clock.
no. There's, I don't think that that's going to change.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
So, Miss Cunningham, I just want to say I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your patience. I'm looking forward to working with you to address these issues. I do believe that we're going to be able to do that. Got a team right here, and I think that is going to work very well. I'm hoping that you can join us at our next meeting so that we can follow up on some of the information that we discussed here tonight. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Just as a suggestion, I would say for some of maybe the more chronic locations that we're having an issue with, perhaps, a little bit down the line, we can organize like a site visit for some of these locations if it's, something that is not, that we were not able to, um, I guess, address to your satisfaction, something that we can actually get, multiple people. Participating to see if that helps. But I've taken a lot of notes. I would appreciate, Miss Lyons, you offered. So if there are any additional things, if you can shoot me an email, that would certainly be helpful. And yeah, I look forward to working with you guys.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's see. Ms. Cunningham has departed, correct? Yeah, looks like she's gone. Okay. I just want to say to everyone here, appreciate you being here tonight, especially and being as active and present as you were. I just want to make sure that it's just very clear that, my the way that I decided to address Miss Cunningham was once again not from a personal place. It was from strictly a place that is completely understandable regarding what's been going on. It wasn't directed at her. It was directed towards the Department of Sanitation, which she was here to represent. And I do believe she understood that. And it is not going to impede our efforts to work together in order to address the issues. But we do have to make sure that we are able to express exactly how we are feeling about what's happening. We are definitely within our right to do so, and they should definitely be interested in hearing exactly how we are being affected by what's going on. Mr.
I
Tate,
truly agree. I truly agree.
Mr.
We've
Tate,
been
did
through
you
this
have?
rodeo.
I'm
We've
sorry.
been
Go
through
ahead,
this
Mr. Quadri.
rodeo.
Yeah,
I
you
just
call
said,
my name?
Well, I was going to let Miss Quashi finish what she was saying, then I was going to.
Okay.
I was just saying we've been through this rodeo with her before, and it's not personal. This is just business. She knows.
Yes, no, but I just wanted to make sure because I say, like since I've dealt with her in the past, and I feel that ever since she left, we have gotten the bad apples from the department. Because I really thought that she was doing, because I don't know if she still does, but she used to live in the community. So she used to make sure that our community was well represented. And whenever we had a complaint, she always acted on it. But ever since she's left, I've noticed that things have deteriorated a lot. So I just want her to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't make her feel like unwelcome and disregard. No, especially those of us who knew what she did in the past. Because sometimes you may feel, oh, okay, what have you done for me lately? Syndrome. So I don't want her to feel that whatever she did in the past for us was forgotten by us who have been there a long time. And sometimes, yes, some people, because I had that situation with, oh, I forgot his name, someone from sanitation who came in and I mentioned when I was a chair, Vincent, I forgot his name. But anyway, he told me basically we were at a meeting and he told us, don't blame me for whatever someone else did because he's so straight out. Because don't blame me for it. If you want to work with me, work with me. Don't work with whatever someone else did wrong. You know. So it was an Italian guy. I forgot his name. Uh, but I just wanted to make sure that we didn't fall into that trap again. Okay, and it wasn't meant as a disrespect to you, Mr. Hill. It was just meant to clarify that we we understand we appreciate what she did in the past, but we still needed her to do whatever Mr. Caruso was not doing.
Yeah, definitely, totally understandable, and that's all completely fair. No disrespect taken whatsoever, and I appreciate you doing that. At this stage, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Hill,
Yes.
sorry, this is Misha Brown. I'm new to this committee, and I just kind of heard all of what everyone had to say. And, to your point, I would suggest that maybe in the future, so that everyone's concerns are heard and a lot of them could be consolidated, because I heard a lot of the similar sentiments. Maybe you want to have any representative join maybe half an hour into the meeting, and then you have the first half an hour to compile everyone's concerns and frustrations, and then people can add on to that. But that may be a little bit more efficient, and shorter in time, just so the person or the representative hears everyone's concerns and it's all compiled early on, and can have any dialogue or specific questions when the representative is on. So just my thought.
I appreciate that. These issues that we discussed today have been issues that have been compiled over many, many meetings. So it was definitely time for everyone to have that opportunity to express how they felt, even if there was overlap, and even though it may have, taken up a lot of time in the meeting. But that's exactly what we were here for to do tonight, and it all worked out pretty well. I think everyone had a chance to speak, and we addressed a lot of issues. But it's definitely something that can be considered in the future.
Okay.
Was there anything else anyone had to add?
Nope.
Mr. Tate, is that hand just something you forgot to take down?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I forgot to take it down.
All right. Well, once again, appreciate everyone's participation tonight. Really felt good about it and hoping for the best. So if that's all, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Internet Smart motion to adjourn.
Oh, sorry, roll call. Yes. We should address that.
Roll
Sorry,
call.
almost forgot. Michael Hill, Executive Chair.
Vanessa Kalashi, committee member.
Hazel Martinez, committee member.
Leonie Logan, committee member.
Internet Smart committee member.
Monica McCain Brown, committee member.
Misha Brown, committee member.
Marjorie Silcott, committee member.
George State, committee member.
Lisa Johnson, committee member.
Was that everyone, I presume?
No, Audrey Henderson, committee member.
Thank you. Was that everyone?
No.
Judy Aki, committee member.
I'm sorry, I don't think that didn't come across too very clearly. Could you restate that, please?
Judy Aki on the phone.
Thank you.
And Edith Moore. I have to run from my phone. Sorry.
Nadine, am I a committee member? Ms. Bennett?
Edith.
Yes, you are, Ms.
Edith Moore.
Bennett.
All right, I'm already a committee member.
All right. I believe
We
that was
haven't
everyone.
heard from Ms. Robinson, Mr. Cameron, Ms. Henderson.
I said a committee member.
Okay, Mr. Watson?
I am a community member, but I was at the sign in at the gate.
Okay, then you have a few people under phone numbers. I know Mr. Cameron is.
I got to see how I can get back onto this committee because I don't know how they took me out.
Okay.
Mr. Oliver, are you a member? I mean, Miss Oliver, are you a member?
I believe I am a committee member. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
The numbers ending in 88. Are you a committee member, and can you announce your name?
Okay. Number ending in 88. Are you there?
You
All
have
right.
two numbers ending in 11. One is 85, and then 11 is the ending, and another one is 89, and 11 is the ending.
1211 Judy Aki.
Oh, that's Miss. Okay.
8911 is Mr. Cameron.
Okay, that's Mr. Cameron. Okay. And 66.
Number ending in 66. All right. Well, everyone that is.
Hello.
Yeah.
I just Kathy Lovell says she just texted saying she's in the meeting. Number ended in 9888. Do you see that?
Oh, and 88. That's Miss Lavelle. Okay.
Yes.
Ocean Paradise.
Number ending in 80. Who is that?
Number ending in 80. Are you there?
Oh, that's it.
That's who?
Oh, that's it. What's that? What else is?
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're going to figure out who the number ending in 80
At
is.
73.
Number ending in 73. Are you there?
Okay.
Right.
I guess you have the majority,
Before you
Mr. Hill.
get up, before you go to bed, make sure that
All right. We've done our best here. At this point, can we have a motion to adjourn?
Lisa Johnson.
Edith Mark.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. That concludes our meeting for tonight. And everyone have a good night and be safe. See you next time.
Good night,
Okay.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.